Alrighty, well first our moderator for this series is Shelly Winter. He has 19 years experience in radio. He's currently the host of The Right Side on WAOK AM 1380 News Talk. And I'm not sure if you heard his program, but if you have, then you should. If you haven't, then you should. And if you have, you know why you should. It's from 2 to 6 p.m. every weekday, and he can also be heard online at WAOK.com. And he talks about everything from politics to social issues in our community, and he has a perspective that's different. It's a little bit goes against the grain of the common rhetoric that we hear within our community. He calls himself a Black Republican, but we know he's more than that. So please join me in welcoming Shelly Winter.
Oftentimes the outcasts of their community. They were one who were put aside and put out into colonies left to deal with their disease on their own. But we believe that more than anything that the church is a hospital. And that is the church's responsibility to minister to every segment of our population, no matter where they come from and what they're dealing with, to begin to touch people that society has literally written off. And so it's become our passion to do that. To really begin to minister to people regardless of where they come from. I told our church not long ago that too many times in church we invite people to come to our church, but we want them to be clean and healthy and whole when we come there. But the reality is, regardless of where people have come from and what they're dealing with and what issues they have going on, we believe it's the church's job, if nobody else. Not even government, we thank God for government, but we believe it is the church's job to embrace people and to show people the love of God. And that's our commitment, our passion to do that at Destiny World Church. And that's all we get. Thank you for that.
Can't say enough. I will appreciative to this time and opportunity to speak at here. Thank God for the pastor who's gone before me and spoken already. One thing I can certainly say, the church is certainly failed. As being a pastor, I can take that, take that responsibility on and go ahead and say we failed people. And in one place where we fail the people, because a lot of people come booklet and know a lot of people understand what the word is saying. People have different perspectives about Jesus. One say Jesus done this and Jesus did that. But we have to look at behavior. It affects us today, and we're told that it affects the Black community more than any other community because you got numbers and statistics. Just because you write something down on a piece of paper doesn't make it right. If I take 3 people here and ask an opinion of it, and one person disagrees, and I say 90% of the people agree or do this type of behavior, that doesn't make it right. Look at who you ask. And that's what's been facing us a long time. We've been taking what people didn't write down. You can write a lot, like I teach my members. You can write a lot just like you can tell one. Because 7 or 8 or 10 or 20 or 100 people can recite it, doesn't make it true. What we got to begin to look is get back to the fundamentals of what the church needs to do. We need to educate the people on behavior. There's too many things going on inside the church. A lot of people that's approaching the church today are coming from nightclubs. People coming to church, they just still got liquor on it. They still got marijuana running through their system. And they're going out doing reckless behavior. And now we're facing something that's plaguing all of us. It's not just a Black issue, but we look at what's facing us today, and we got to address it. There's got to be a change. We can't keep telling the people that condoms are the answer. While you're putting on the condom, you're still kissing these people, you're still transmitting it, and putting something out here that still destroys those people. He said, my people praying for the lack of God. So thank you.
It is time to stop being silent. Cancer, be silent about. Anything that's negative, we want to be silent about. And it's not that I don't even really feel like it's all the church's fault, because in this work, you can't mandate behavior. I can't make you do what will make a difference. We ask questions when we do our HIV testing and counseling, and we ask them, are you doing things that put you at risk? And they say yes, but they can't really, they don't understand what makes them put themselves at risk. So there's some deeper issues that you have to get to. And sometimes you can't get to it on Sunday morning. The word says that the wages of sin is death. So they do talk about it, but it ain't what people want to hear. If you're going to talk about what the Word of God says, so, I get deep, but I get passionate. But I love people. I love people. And we all should just be loving each other. And in that, there's forgiveness. Because we all got some stuff we don't want people to know. That's correct. So that's what we're doing.
All right.
Our next guest is Lisa Diane.
black people are so promiscuous. There have been new studies out there saying we don't want promiscuous than some of the white people are. But if you live in Atlanta, in Fulton County, 16 of the top zip codes where people live with HIV and AIDS live here in Fulton County, 16 of these zip codes. You may have sex with one person in this, and you just have more people that have this virus that you don't know about, and if you don't ask the right questions, it's hard to say. Can you go to the doctor? Can you get a test? Can you tell me what the status is? Can you do all these things? You just want to say, can we go out on a date? And you got to do all these things. And you got to be asking these kind of questions. I'm literally with this. My mama's life no more, and this ain't my daddy's life no more, and I just can't live off what he lived off of, unfortunately. But this is the reality of the times. I was so excited to be here to hear that the church is talking about HIV, because who and where do we go all the time? To the church. So the church ain't talking about it, and a whole lot of people don't know what's going on. And we all know when church starts talking about stuff, and we all get that information. And I'm excited to be here with the church. I wanted to come to hear the church say whatever they was doing so I could do it. I'm not here to offend or be disrespectful. However I need to give this message, you tell me how you need to hear it. I don't bring nothing in here you don't want to see. You don't want to see no condoms, I don't have none. You don't want me to tell you how to put them on, I won't do it. I'll do it. For me to do everything impacts the disease. And I just thank you for inviting me here. Anything you need to know about how to protect yourself, we can help you. But I can't protect you from somebody that lies. Everybody want to know if you have something that can save me. I have no lie detector test. There's no intervention that can cause somebody that you'll know, oh, that's a lie. There's nothing, so the things have to start doing to protect themselves. And who wants to protect themselves in marriages and all these places? But whatever it is, I want us to do what we need to do to keep ourselves safe so that we can be healthy and we can do well. Thank you for having me, and it has been a pleasure.
And because being a woman of color, I kind of migrated to and attracted my sisters that were infected, who now look like me, who've gone to school. I went to Howard. I see people that I treat in church, at the grocery store, at the nightclub, at the restaurants. And I know that I'm not the only one that knows so many people who are infected. Now, we all may not know, but this is our community. And when we talk about consequences, what's going to help? I mean, I have women's groups and support groups, and what I feel is extremely important in my regimen in treating my patients is to give them a recipe for self-empowerment. Because these behaviors that we're talking about are sellout for your own self, compromises of our own self. I mean, if you think about, when I think about consequences, how many times, Adam and Eve bit off the apple and was told not to. We go touch a stove when it's hot even though we're told not to. If we sit around and talk about, well, if you do that, this is going to happen. Meanwhile, we can listen to radio that's uncensored and television that's uncensored and all types of other stimuli that give us plenty of motivation to do things that have consequences. We look at Magic Johnson, who I love, and that's a brother that he's doing work in the community, but still and yet people don't believe that he's positive, despite what behaviors he's demonstrating. And the most important thing I have found to make a difference in my patient population is to find a way to speak to them that gives them a self-empowered message, that they begin to appreciate, to love themselves enough to then protect themselves and the people that they love and feel comfortable with speaking, knowing that the words that come out of their mouth not define them, but basically strengthen them and can strengthen. I have so many women whose children do not know they're infected, who are 13 and 15 and exploring, and they're afraid to talk to their children. They're afraid to stand up at church and talk and ask for help or to just disclose. And they can be used to be a message to say, look, this is what we're doing, but we don't support these, and we don't give them an ability to know that they are the leaders, they are the power, they are the strength that shows us and teaches us how to make those better choices.